This is 5 on your side at 4, focused on you.
Right now at 4, control over St. Louis police is 2 steps away from changing hands again. Yesterday, the Missouri House approved legislation that would allow the state to take back control of the police department. That bill now awaits consideration in the Senate. Thanks for being here. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Now at 4, the former president of the Police Board of Commissioners is weighing in. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings reports he oversaw the police department when the state was in control. Travis, that was more than a decade ago.
Yeah, Brand. St. Louis native Chris Goodson is now a commercial real estate developer. He's known for projects like Fields Foods and Old City Hospital. Goodson previously served as president of the police board from 2005 to 2009. He gave me some insight on what state control could look like in our local law enforcement if it passes. Now, the bill would create a 5-member board to oversee the department. 4 of the members would be appointed by the governor. The 5th would be the St. Louis mayor. A state commission oversaw the St. Louis Police Department dating back to the Civil War until 2013, when voters statewide gave power back to the city. Now, Goodson says a lot of people who sat next to him were business leaders, community folk, but still yielded to the mayor to carry out the work.
And I thought it benefited them because they got an opinion of the citizens, you know, the people that lived on the streets in the city of St. Louis and worked on the city of St. Louis. So I thought it was a good framework and worked very well as long as you had people that were engaged and took it serious and did the right thing, and my boards definitely did.
State Representative Brad Criss, who sponsored the bill, says if the Senate passes it and the governor signed it, the department could be under state control by August. Now, we'll hear more from Goodson and another community leader who's not so fond of the bill tonight at 6.
All right, thank you, Travis. Developing today, a federal judge ruled a Missouri law banning local police from enforcing federal gun law is unconstitutional and void. The judge said the 2021 Second Amendment Preservation Act is preempted by the federal government under the U.S. Constitution's Supremacy Clause. The Justice Department says the law damaged crime-fighting partnerships with Missouri law enforcement. The Missouri Attorney General says he will appeal the ruling.
A Chesterfield man pleads guilty to a crash that killed an urgent care worker in Baldwin. Trenton Geiger admitted he killed 25-year-old Marissa Polite when he hit her with his SUV in October of 2020. Court documents say he passed out at the wheel and drove through lanes of oncoming traffic before striking a light pole, a tree, and the 25-year-old who was leaving the Total Access Urgent Care building on Clarkson Road. Geiger is sentenced to 6 years in prison.
We have an update now on Janae Edmondson, the teen who was seriously injured in a crash in downtown St. Louis last month. On her GoFundMe site, her family says she is now in a hospital in Tennessee. Doctors are addressing some additional health concerns, but say she is healing. Janae was walking in downtown St. Louis from a volleyball tournament when a man crashed his car and pinned her against another vehicle. She lost both her legs. Her GoFundMe has raised more than $700,000. If you'd like to donate to the Edmondson family, text the word support to 314-425-5355.
Well, it is election day in the city of St. Louis. Today's primary municipal election marks the first election under newly drawn ward maps. 39 candidates are competing for 14 seats on the Board of Aldermen. The top 2 in each ward advance to the April 4th general election. Polls are open until 7 tonight, and our political editor Mark Maxwell will have results tonight at 10. 5 on your side has a comprehensive voter guide that we can send to your phone. If you like it, just text the word guide to 314-425-5355.
Mostly cloudy, breezy, cool on this early March afternoon. After temperatures in the 70s yesterday, we struggled to make it to the 50s today. Meteorologist Jim Castillo here with what to expect. He's here with the Weather First forecast. Jim.
Yeah, it feels more like March, doesn't it? So yeah, things have changed. It's going to stay this way for a while, plus several moisture chances in here. And the reason why I say that, mainly rain, but we do have a chance of a winter mix for some late tonight. More on that coming up. Right now it is cloudy and 51 degrees. Had a little bit of sunshine earlier. And at Lambert, you know, that northeast wind at 12, it makes it feel a little bit cooler out there, but really not having to factor in a wind chill of any kind. That rain is just about to move into Phelps County, and we have dry air in place, but the clouds are thickening coming up, and that chance of rain increases as we get through the evening hours. Pull back the shot a little bit. You can see all that shower activity to the west of us. Best chance of rain is 10 o'clock on and during the overnight hours, all of us, but watch what happens about 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. May see some areas of some wet snow. It shouldn't be a big issue at all, but it may accumulate to about a half an inch on grassy surfaces along the Mississippi River and mainly on the Illinois side. Not a big issue at all, but we'll talk more about this in Maine weather coming up in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Jim. Now to a developing story in Mexico. Today, U.S. officials announced 2 Americans who were kidnapped are dead. The other 2 were found alive and have been brought back to the U.S.
And we're also learning more about the victims and why they were in the border town. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington.
Sirens sounding as ambulances cross onto U.S. soil, carrying 2 American citizens to a Texas hospital after a terrifying kidnapping that left one of them injured and 2 others dead.
We extend our deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased.
The group of 4 had crossed the border through Brownsville, Texas into Matamoros, Mexico, seeking a medical procedure, according to family members, when they came under heavy gunfire.
Attacks on U.S. citizens are unacceptable.
A law enforcement official calling it a likely case of mistaken identity and saying this video shows a group of armed men loading the Americans into a pickup truck.
They were not worried about what they were doing in broad daylight. They were not worried about using violence.
Citing crime and kidnapping, the U.S. State Department has since October warned Americans not to travel to Matamoros and the surrounding area. The Biden administration today vowing to fight cartel violence.
The DEA and the FBI are doing everything possible to dismantle and disrupt and ultimately prosecute the leaders of the cartels and the entire networks that they depend on.
We have imposed powerful new sanctions against cartel organizations in recent weeks.
Mexican officials say the 4 U.S. citizens were found by joint search actions and that work is underway to capture those behind the kidnapping.
And the task forward is to ensure that justice is done.
A tragic ending and a stark warning for Americans considering nearby spring break destinations. The incident raises questions for U.S.-Mexico relations with this unchecked, brazen violence happening so close to the U.S. border. The White House promising stepped-up efforts to prevent dangerous cartel members from crossing into the U.S. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.